How to mix and match patterns in interior design. Start with a neutral base. Begin by selecting a neutral base color for your space, such as white, beige, or gray. This base provides a calming backdrop that allows the patterns to stand out without overwhelming the room. Neutral walls, furniture, or large rugs create a cohesive foundation for layering patterns. Choose a dominant pattern. Select one pattern to be the focal point of your room. This dominant pattern should be the most visually striking and can be featured on a large surface like a rug, wallpaper, or statement furniture piece. It sets the tone for the rest of the patterns in the space. Play with scale. Vary the scale of your patterns to create visual interest. Combine large, bold patterns with smaller, more intricate ones. For example, pair a large floral print with a small geometric design. This contrast in scale adds depth and prevents the patterns from competing with each other. Stick to a cohesive color palette. To ensure the patterns work well together, stick to a cohesive color palette. Choose a few colors that complement each other and appear consistently across the different patterns. This approach ties the patterns together and creates harmony within the space. Mix different types of patterns. Experiment with mixing different types of patterns, such as florals, stripes, plaids, and geometrics. The key is to balance the complexity of the patterns. For instance, a bold geometric print can be softened with a delicate floral, or a busy plaid can be paired with simple stripes. Balance bold and subtle patterns. Create balance by mixing bold, attention-grabbing patterns with more subtle, understated ones. This prevents the space from feeling too chaotic. Use bold patterns sparingly as accents, and let the subtle patterns fill in the gaps for a cohesive look. Use patterns in different textiles. Incorporate patterns through various textiles like cushions, throws, curtains, and rugs. This layering technique adds texture and richness to the room. For example, you can mix a patterned rug with patterned cushions on a solid-colored sofa. Repeat patterns to create unity. To create a sense of unity, repeat a pattern in different elements of the room. For example, you can use the same pattern on cushions, curtains, or even artwork. Repetition helps to tie the room together and makes the design feel intentional. Test with samples. Before committing to a mix of patterns, test them out by gathering fabric swatches, wallpaper samples, or paint chips. Lay them out together to see how they interact. This step allows you to experiment and refine your choices before making any permanent decisions. Trust your instincts. Finally, trust your instincts when mixing and matching patterns. Interior design is a personal expression of style, so don't be afraid to take risks and break the rules. If the combination of patterns feels right to you and makes the space feel comfortable, then you've achieved your goal. By following these guidelines, you can confidently mix and match patterns to create a dynamic, visually appealing interior that reflects your unique style.